All right, everybody, so today we have a new 2023 Hyundai Santa Cruz, and this one comes in the SEL trim level with the activity package, and I'll go over some of those features here shortly. But this one comes in Atlas white on black cloth interior, and then our powertrain consists of a 2.5 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine made into an 8-speed automatic transmission. So as we come around to the front here, we do get those Santa Cruz signature LED daytime running lights in the grille, and they don't flash like that. That's just my camera picking them up. Then we do get our headlamps here. And the front end on these, along with the Tucsons, have really grown on me over the years because I didn't like them when they first came out, but pretty good looking. And there we have our 18-inch aluminum wheels. We get passive keyless entry on the front doors. And then over here, we do get one-touch up and down windows for the driver and front passenger. And then we just have our regular power windows for the back, and we can lock those there. And then we have our power mirror controls. We can control all that depending on which side we're on. And then decent storage here in the door panel. We can put a small water bottle in there and a few other things. And there we have our brightness for our gauge cluster, as well as the cargo lamp and then the traction control. And there we have our power front driver's seat with power lumbar support. Decent storage back here. We have a little pocket and then a nice cup holder there. I'm gonna try and fit back here best I can. So I will say the Santa Cruz, in terms of legroom for the rear passenger, is not its strong suit, but this is a very small pickup truck, kind of in the same realm as the Ford Maverick. But I have the seat in front of me adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3", and then, as you can see, not a lot of leg space there. But I do like that they did put seat back pockets on both doors. But next we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the back next. Actually, before we do that, I'm gonna take a look at this window sticker. So before I show you all these features, you can see what comes on this activity package. So there's all of our standard features there. And then over here, activity package, it's a $32.70 option there, but you do get the power sunroof, the integrated tonneau cover, the C-rail system, you get the inverter in the bed, digital gauge cluster, etc. And then this one also has a cargo package. And that brings the sticker price to right at $33,120. And there's our fuel filler there. It's freezing out here, so everything's covered in ice. Now as we go to the back here, really like these LED tail lights here. Once again, they're not flashing, that's just how the camera picks up LED lights. Really nice look here on this SEL. There's our tailgate there. And these are the all-weather floor mats here. Oh, that's tight. Hold on one second. Use my good hand. Oh, I'll turn it the wrong way. There's a little storage back there. And then over here is where we get that 115 volt 3-prong plug in there. Show it a little bit longer. And then just to give you a quick demonstration of that bed, just pull it here and then latch it there, and then to slide it back, you just pull it there. And then another cool feature is this sliding rear glass. Now, it's not the biggest window, but it is awesome to have that on this kind of a truck. And you can put your longer boards or whatever back there and slide all the way to the front if you need to. And then here we have our manual front passenger seat. Whew, it's freezing out here. And there's a quick look at those rails up there. But all in all, for a sticker price of $33,125, you definitely get a lot in this truck. I'm gonna put my hood back up. Ears are about to fall off. And there's that 2.5 liter Smart Stream 4-cylinder engine. That hood was heavy. It might just be because I can't feel my hands right now. Let's go ahead and finally hop on the inside. That's better. So we have our just regular vinyl wrap steering wheel here. Still feels nice. And I can put my hand throughout the steering wheel. I like the design, and I've said that before, that they put on these Hyundais. Now over here to the radio, excuse the glare. I don't even know how to get rid of that. Okay, it's about as good as it's gonna get. We have AM, FM, XM radio along with Bluetooth audio. And then we also have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto compatibility as well. And I believe we actually get wireless Apple CarPlay in here, because I've used it before in older Santa Cruzes. Wi-Fi hotspot. Now, I do wish that they would update this radio, because it's not my favorite, but it's also not bad either. They were ahead of their time when they first came out with these, but everyone else is kind of caught up. So I'd like to see a refresh on the screen. Something a little more intuitive. There's our backup camera, and there are the guidelines as I turn the steering wheel. The lines will follow. Finally found a good spot that wasn't showing that glare. See if I can hold it there. And then down here, we do have our AC controls. So we just have our manual controls here, temperature, and then fan speed there, and then the circulation there, depending on where you want it to go. And then down here, I do like that we get a wireless charging pad here as part of that activity package. Then we have 2 USB ports here and a 12 volt there. That's a pretty good sized pad in there as well. Now to our shifter, we just hold the button back here, pull down, reverse, neutral, drive, and then we can slap over here and manually shift there if we want. Now down here, we do have an automatic brake hold here. We can toggle our camera here. And then we can toggle our hill descent or downhill brake control here. And then drive modes, we get 3 of those. Normal, sport, and then smart. And then we have our electronic parking brake, which you pull up to engage, hit the brake, press down to disengage. And then here we have the controls for our 3-stage heated front seats. I'll probably need to keep that on actually. And then for our center console cubby space, decent size for a small truck. We do get the upgraded dome lights, which I always like having that white light as opposed to that dim yellow. And then there's our sunroof. We can one touch slide that there, open and shut. And then we can actually push on this button here and we can tilt it. And there's a view of the back seat from up here. Like I said, big plus having that sliding rear window. And then here we have our glove compartment with owner's manuals. Now back to the steering wheel here, we can of course toggle our modes, which I still don't like that in the Hyundais, if you hit the mode, it'll just automatically have the sound blaring even if you have it turned down. But other than that, that and Kia, I had a Kia Sorento hybrid, and that used to get on my nerves because I'd hit the mode button on accident when I'd have the music paused or muted or whatever, and then it would just go back to the volume I had on the radio. But like I said, hopefully an update to the infotainment system will fix that. But volumes here, I do like that you can hit that button there for the mute, and then we have our favorites here, and you can customize that. And then we have our phone button here. We can set up our Bluetooth preferences, and then we can go through our radio station favorites or track list controls using this button here. And once again, when I change radio frequencies, the volume was on. And then here we do have our cruise control, so we can toggle that. And then we have our gauge cluster controls here. And then this is actually for the cruise when we set it up. Of course, the coveted lane tracing system is really good in the Hyundais, and I like that it comes on a lot of vehicles you wouldn't expect it to. Headlamp controls over here, blinkers here. We can toggle our automatic high beams, excuse me. And then we also have windshield wiper controls here. We can set our intermittent here, and then our windshield wiper fluid there, and then mist, and then we can go speed there. And then another plus of the Santa Cruz's gauge or activity package, is going to be the all digital gauge cluster there, which looks really nice. Just want to admire that a little bit. And like I said, that's why I definitely recommend that package, because you do get a lot for the money without having to necessarily go up a whole trim level. There's our push button start. Finally, here's our key fob with remote start. But now we're just going to go ahead and take this Santa Cruz SEL with the 2.5 liter Smart Stream engine out on the road for a quick test drive. So I'm actually pretty impressed with this 4-cylinder. With it being naturally aspirated and being able to push this vehicle up that hill, really, really impressive. Now it does tend to rev a little hot, as you can see. But it does make it a little interesting to drive. And flop shifting from the actual shifter, it's not fast, but it's not slow either. And it does tend to listen to you most of the time, which I like. I'm gonna put it back into smart mode. Because honestly, in my opinion, driving the naturally aspirated one is not gonna be as fun with the sport mode as the turbocharged version is. So something like this, I'm gonna focus more on fuel economy, maybe hauling smaller loads and everyday driving. So I'll keep it in either normal or smart most of the time. It's getting hot in here now. And this seems to drive very well. The ride is very, very smooth. And I'm just gonna give it a little bit of throttle. Getting on the interstate here. There's a cruise there and the lane centering. So as I said before, Kia and Hyundai's lane centering is really good, especially because you don't have to get a super expensive driver assist package or adaptive cruise with lane keep assist and all of that. It's just on here. Now I will say lane centering kind of worries me without having the adaptive cruise on, because if it's centering me in the lanes, I kind of want to have it the adaptive cruise as well. I'd rather have the adaptive cruise before the lane centering, but that's why they did that, because then you have to still add the adaptive cruise as an option. But coupled together, I think I had a Santa Cruz Limited I did that on. It's really a really good semi-autonomous system. I'll put it in the smart now, or in the normal now. So when I put my foot down, I get those high revs there. Now, like the Ford Maverick, most people in this segment are not gonna necessarily need all of that horsepower or torque, but of course you get that on the EcoBoost with the Maverick, and then you get it with the 2.5 turbo on the Santa Cruz. But for the most part, this is just a really good truck to beat around town in if you do some light hauling, like woodwork or something like that. Or if you just want to have a pickup truck, but you don't want a pickup truck. And what's really neat is having that tonneau cover that's integrated into the truck, because you could put all your groceries back there, or you could just haul a bunch of stuff and not have to worry about it falling over or blowing out or whatever. But all in all, you get pretty decent fuel mileage with this Santa Cruz. It's very easy to drive, and this one in particular just has all the features that you need with nothing extra. But with all that being said, this is going to bring me to an end of my review of the new 2023 Hyundai Santa Cruz SEL.